Hello everyone, this is Refresh and I'm here to take a look at the Selesnya Guild Kit for Magic the Gathering. The back it says, "Welcome to the Selesnya Conclave. This box contains our gifts to you, the weapons and tools you need to stand as a defender of nature. Know that you fight with the might of life united." It contains a Selesnya deck box, 60 card Selesnya deck assembled from all 3 Ravnica blocks, plus special Selesnya basic lands, Selesnya symbol sticker, Selesnya pin, 5 double-sided tokens, guild-themed insert, and Selesnya spin-down life counter. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside. Here's our Selesnya insert. It's pretty. We got a deck list here, so that's nice. Then some art on the other side. This is our Selesnya sticker. Our deck box, which seems sized for sleeved cards, which is good. This is our spin-down life counter in pretty white and green. Our pin. And our deck, which comes with a foil premium Tristani Selesnya's voice. So let's take a look at what's inside. There's our deck. It seems to be about going wide. We're taking advantage of going wide. And it is filled with singletons, so it's probably a high variance deck, but it could still be fun. I'll play it against its peers, and I'll be back to let you know what I think. So I got to play with this deck a bit, and I have some thoughts. The one thing that is relatively consistent for this deck is that it is interested a bit in going wide. There's like both the going wide sub-theme and a token sub-theme, and it's not entirely consistent. They are related to each other because there are some things that take advantage of tokens. For example, the Hour of Reckoning will destroy all non-token creatures, so all your tokens survive. However, this deck also has a lot of non-token creatures like Watchwolf, and so it's not exactly going to be the most consistent deck when it comes to the ways that its mechanics and its cards interact. And there are a decent number of cards in this deck that don't exactly do much for its purpose. So, for example, the Dryad Militant is a 1-drop that it counters instants and sorceries, which I guess is fine, but it's not really helping what this deck is trying to do. Meanwhile, a card like Selesnya Guildmage helps on both fronts, both with creating tokens and then pumping them, and I think that is one of the key cards in this deck and telling you what this deck wants to do. So Tristani Selesnya's voice is a great reward for making those tokens, and then once you have a lot of creatures, you can use those convoke abilities to power up your creatures and then come smashing in with a bunch of big creatures. And if that is your thing, going wide and then getting benefit from going wide, then this deck might still be for you. But I found that its consistency is just a little bit weak, especially with cards like the Vernati Shieldmates and the Watchwolves not doing a ton to help what this deck is trying to do. And then there are a bunch of other cards in here that aren't that strong but are expensive, like Scattered Seeds. And yes, this all helps towards the go wide plan. And there are enough cards that do something with this going wide, whether we're talking about Glare of Subdual, letting you tap down creatures with your no longer relevant creatures, or Camaraderie, which cares about having a lot of creatures. And then there are some cards that I just don't fully understand, like the Watchwolves of this deck, for example. Like, I would just prefer more Call of Conclaves, because it's better to have tokens in this deck than to have creatures that don't do a whole lot of anything except just being efficient bodies. Similar with the Centaur Healer. Like, what is that doing besides being a body for a decent rate? It doesn't really help the game plan of this deck that well. So that's what my thoughts were about this deck. If you have any experience with this deck, let me know in the comments below. Again, I do think that it is a decent deck for those of you who like going wide or you like tokens. It's just not a deck that does either one of those things especially well. It just does it okay. Hit the like button if this was helpful. If you'd like to see more of my videos, you can hit subscribe. This was Refresh. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.